Good evening, everybody. Rob here at WesternPacificWeather.com. It is currently 2300 Japan Standard Time, or that is 14 Zulu Universal Time, or Zulu Time. Just watching 12 Whiskey right now, just to the south of the southern end of the Ryuku Island here in Miyako-jima Island chain right now. It's moving off to the west right around 10 knots. Max sustained winds at about 100 knots. Expecting this to increase over the next 12 hours to a max of 110, gusting up to 125 knots as it moves to the west. Currently, on the southern end of these islands, there is a report of about an 80 mile per hour or 70 knot sustained wind out of here. That's about 37 meters per second. So already seeing some typhoon strength winds in the outer eye wall here. Good news though, this inner eye wall you actually can very faintly see here on the radar is just going to remain just to the south of the major population in these islands right in here. Missing one frame there. It just keeps on going in and out. Just deal with it. Basically, the outer eye wall is just skirting the southern end of these islands today. So definitely seeing some typhoon strength winds there right now. And also want to note though, on the farther up and to the north here, you see these outer rain bands right in here. These have the likely chance for tornadic activity. So as this system continues to move off to the west, and these rain bands out here to the eastern semicircle of the storm, those areas right in there are definitely going to have some possibility of tornadic activity for these populations right in here. So after the eye wall actually passes, this whole island chain is still not out of the woods just yet. The system is moving off towards the west, towards Taiwan. I'll put the Taiwan radar right now. Here's a radar out of Taiwan, showing a very clear and defined eye now. Auto rain band starting to affect actually Taiwan right in here. You're going to see this first right along the edges of the mountains here of orographic lifting as the moisture moves into this area and starts to get forced upwards. First going to see basically rain bands build along this as this starts to move this towards the west, and then overall the precipitation will start to set in along this mountain chains. I already noted in my previous updates today, expecting flash flooding and possibility of mudslides along this entire area right here where I'm cursing along here. Taipei, just to the southeast of Taipei, is where landfall is expected with the eye wall. Expecting max winds in that area sustained above 100 knots. So talking about a Category 3 equivalent typhoon in this entire area right in here. So definitely something we need to watch. Also to note, the wind field with the system is extending out for over 34 knots or higher throughout the entire island. So very wide wind field associated with the system. The core winds 100 knots or higher is within a very concentrated area in that inner eye wall right in here. But overall, tropical storm force winds does extend out very far from the center. And just showing a multispectral satellite imagery from an NRL right now. Basically, just wanted to briefly show you this, showing the overall semicircle on the eastern and western side. Both are very organized at this current moment, showing a very well-defined and organized typhoon. It is going to gradually weaken on the western side of this area, right in here, as I'm showing on the visible shot right here, as it starts to encounter an approximately about 20 to 30 knots worth of shear beginning tomorrow. So plus, the land interaction with Taiwan, by the time it makes it into Taiwan Strait, should be a weak tropical storm, tropical depression, due to that increased shear and land interaction with the mountainous terrain over Taiwan. And here's warning number 16 per JTWC. Expecting this system to weaken again as it crosses over Taiwan to a strong or to weak tropical storm. By the time it makes landfall over China, though, after it crosses Taiwan Strait, be a tropical storm and then eventually a tropical depression as it moves over mainland China. Do you want to know CPA to Taipei, approximately 73 nautical miles to the southeast of this area. So expect a typhoon strength winds possibly there in Taipei, especially funneling between buildings and mountainous areas, especially. This you gotta remember, max sustained winds does not take in account funneling and non-such, and especially around mountainous areas, you get that crosswind through there. Could increase these winds above that what's actually being forecasted. So gust up to 135 knots actually could be increased to 150, depending on the topographic nature of the region. So just one thing we really do want to take into note, especially up in this area. And that is all for right now, everybody. Just want to say thank you for all the information. People from the Okinawa and Ryuku Islands chain and all the way over to Taiwan have been passing on today. Very informative, and I always say the best forecasting tool out there is observations on the ground from people actually there. So I want to take just a minute and thank you. Just say stay safe tonight and into tomorrow, and hopefully I hear from you tomorrow. So have a great night, everybody.